Hello all, welcome. It is Monday and it's time for 10 minutes of truth. All right, so let's drop the straight truth right out the outset and right up front. Be a quick 15 minutes, probably no more than 15, but we basically have 7 days in a wake up, and I think I mentioned before to some of you guys. So in the military, we don't count like 8 days because we count that day. It's the amount of days and then the wake up to get to the next morning, and then you're at the goal or you're at the day you set out to be. So in this particular case, obviously you know where we're at. There is nothing more important, more significant, and more heated, contested, talked about, ubiquitous, and omnipresent than the United States election for president. And I'll say that not just for us in the United States, but quite literally for everybody on the planet. I mean, whether you want to believe that or not, I'm telling you factually that that is the case. I read a lot outside of the United States. I read a lot of material, not necessarily just sites, but news sources, news outlets, broadcasts, other news stations throughout the world in other languages and other places. And this is it. This is it. They are waiting to see where we go, what we do, quite literally to provide a gauge for themselves on how they go forward as a country and in their foreign policy regarding us. So I don't want to stay too much on that or hyperbolize it. We need to, kind of get here, not the forest for the trees, right? We got to get right what's in front of us. We have 7 days in a wake up, and we will be at our election day. And as most of you know, it has been election day for quite some time because we have plenty of people voting already. Let me give that, to start. As of today, there are well over, I think it's at around 55 million ballots already cast in this country. And I have a, sneaking suspicion, I'm being facetious, a sneaking suspicion that we are going to break all kinds of records, at least for current and modern day elections, going back quite some time. I'll be interested to see when this thing's done, how many ballots are cast, and the percentage of those ballots in relation to the overall population. We will have a very, very large number of ballots. Clearly, it'll be more than, for instance, just this past cycle, 2018, which was pretty good in terms of turnout. And generally, presidential cycles every 4 years are the larger turnout. I think we're going to have a bigger turnout than 2016, 2012, 2008. Let's go all the way back. We're probably looking at least into the 90s or 80s, maybe more. In terms of volume, we're a bigger country, we're a bigger population. As we, as time goes on, we have a larger population. So that's not the metric to look at. You don't want to look at the metric that says how much in the raw number of votes are cast and how many people actually voted, because we're a bigger country, we have a greater population. But instead, what you need to be looking for is the percentage of the overall voting population. That's the significant marker and asterisk to calculate out. But I have no doubt that we're going to have a very, very large turnout. We already do. Again, in excess of 50, close to 55 million votes as of today. By the time we're done with this week, we're probably looking at 60, 70, 80 million people having voted. It's going to be a large number. And I'm going to say this like point blank for any of you that are listening. Regardless of where you are and what you feel, if more Americans get out and vote and have their voices heard, have their opinions weighed, measured, and brought to you in the form of a vote, then that's a good thing. Then that's a good thing. You may not like someone else's vote, you may not like the result or the outcome, but when more American voices are heard, that's the real America. You understand? That's the real America. Okay? So that's where we're at now. We have 7 days and then the wake up for the following day. And I'm going to make this really simple in terms of where I'm going today. Okay? Where I'm at today. I've said before that in my Facebook group, SuperMex Nation, I put out content. I put out what I'm reading. I put out where my mind's at, the questions I have, the thought, the issues, the items, the policies, the news, for lack of something better. that is the news or item of the day or the week, etc. And I send that out into my group, and then I let those in my group comment one way or the other and let them weigh their opinion, provided it's clean, it's not dirty, there aren't any personal attacks, there's not foul language, there isn't a gang-up mentality. And then I let that run, and then I kind of take my cue from that, and I rebut if I don't feel that they're taking shots at me personally about my thought, and I try to answer or provide facts and use what has been said and done as my evidence or evidentiary proof that these are the things said and done. So over this last week I've posted more, and most of you know where I'm at by now. I'm not a Trump fan at all. I will say with clarity and distinction that I gave the gentleman the benefit of the doubt. I gave him at least a year and a half. I was going on 2. Then we got to Charlottesville, and I was done. I was done. Now, some of you others may not have been done. That's your choice. And I entirely believe in your right to exercise your choice. But after Charlottesville, I was done. I'd never seen that. An American president call Nazi wannabes fine people. Yeah, and he said it, his own words, so I'm done. That, to me, isn't partisan. If you think it's partisan, then you're partisan. Entirely partisan. Because I had 2 grandfathers that fought in World War II, so that we didn't have to live with Nazism, we didn't have to live with racism, and we didn't have to live with one color, one other type of people, or more distinguished and treated differently because of the way they looked. And I'll say this before I go too far, because we've got to get into the body of our show. If you can't understand that the term Nazi or Nazism is synonymous over a 5,000-year recorded human history, synonymous in the human experience, and you don't know that that's the case with Nazis or wannabe Nazis, then you didn't get your history, and you were taught poorly. Or you do know better, and you simply choose to ignore. In which case, ladies and gentlemen, that's on you when you meet your Maker. I'm fine when I meet mine, because I know evil and wrong when I see it, and I have no compunction about calling it out, even if I lose friends or people that call themselves as such, until I say something they don't like. I sleep easy at night. I'm fine when I meet my Maker. So, having said that, and having put that forward to you, I have put forward over a period of time on 10 Minutes of Truth and in my group and other forms, simply the things that our president has said that have come directly from his own mouth. That's it. No big mystery. No, not a whole lot of nuance or calculation. It's simple. I just use what the gentleman says as evidence to who he is. Okay? That's it. It's no big mystery. So, you do know the term, don't shoot the messenger, listen for the message, right? I'm just a messenger. But I will remind you, none too subtly, that some of us messengers know how to shoot back. So be careful. And I'm not getting into the physical aspect of that. I'm just being honest with you. If you're going to take shots at me, don't be surprised if I have the ability to return fire on you tenfold, verbally, intellectually. Oh yeah, the little brown guy with an intellect. Scary thought, right? Yeah, let's make that one a meme. You know, some homies make millions, others make memes. You get it, I hope. So let's do this, drill down, rapid fire, right in your face. Let's give me some stats. All facts, ladies and gentlemen. We are now in excess of 230,000 American deaths. And I'll do this because we've been doing it. You may not like the number. You may not agree with the number. You may want the number to be less. But I'll say again, as I've said many times before, what is okay? 200,000 American dead people? 150,000 American dead? 100,000 American dead? Any American dead. Yeah. The question I posited on my page was, are you okay with that many American dead? Or do you simply refuse to acknowledge that that number exists and that our president has done nothing about it? And you heard what I said, nothing. He has done nothing. He sat on his ass for months, did nothing. He waited for governors in blue states with large populations to act. He sat back and watched. So if they didn't do a good job, he would skewer them in the public on his Twitter feed. Or if they did do a good job, he can claim that he sent them some things and he helped. And he would claim that he helped tamp down the virus. That's the worst form of leadership there is. Sit back to see what happens and then use it for good or bad depending on the outcome. That's not leadership. That's a punk. Yeah, you heard that. I'll say it again. That's not leadership. That's a punk. Because Americans died while he did nothing. American dead, 230,000. We will get to 250,000 within a month or so, if not by Christmas. You can quote me on that because the president's doing nothing about it. As of right now, we're rounding the turn. His exact words, we are rounding the turn as Americans die with no end in sight. If you don't like what I'm saying, that's on you because it's the truth. This is 10 minutes of truth. Probably 9 minutes and 59 seconds too much truth for you. Stick with the 1 second and get the hell out. Vete. Lárganse. You don't want to be here. American unemployment remains ugly. Millions, tens of millions of Americans are out of work and it's getting worse. I won't even get into it because that's another show. We've got an eviction crisis coming. We have a food crisis now. We have people that can't pay their bills. It's ugly and not getting better. And it ain't the rich people. It's the poor people. And you know what? That's where SuperMex sits. I ain't here for rich people. To hell with them. I'm here for poor working folk. That's who I'm here for. American debt. That's another show. It is skyrocketed and ballooning. It is the largest national debt in the history of the American Republic. And climbing. Sound familiar? Because it's the same damn principle. He doesn't care. It just keeps growing. What does it matter, right? We'll just pass it on. Oh yeah, let me do that since I'm here. I'm here all week. Hey millennials, check out what we got for you. Hey millennials, I got a present. When we're out of here, we're going to hand you in excess of $30 trillion of debt. That's a gift, isn't it? It's a gift that will continue to give because that's exponential. It ain't going to stop anytime soon. $30 trillion is coming. We're handing that to you. Obviously, I'm being facetious. You understand what I'm doing. Do I agree with it? Do I like it? Hell no. I don't like taking over something and then turning it over to those that come after me worse than when I got it. That's garbage. That's not American. You know what it is? That's a punk. I'm being real nice, by the way. Not using cochinas. No dirty words here. That's a punk move. If this were another show, I'd say that's a bitch move. Yeah, you heard that too. Okay. Off. Here we go. I'm going to wrap up here. I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a listen, 2 listens and a view. I'm just going to sum up everything that I've just said. Okay? Because this is where we're at. This is where we're at. This virus, this thing that was a hoax that disappeared like a miracle. It was one person from China. Yeah, it's still here. And you know what? The virus is laughing at our ass because it's kicking our ass all over the place. It's killing us, this virus. Oh, but it's not that bad. No, it's not that bad at all. Just in excess of 230 million dead Americans. As our president said, his own words,
is almost inexplicable and unexplainable.
Well, I think, Bob, really, to be honest with you,
Sure, I want you to
I
be.
wanted to always play it down. I still like playing it down.
Yes,
because I don't want to create a panic.
There you go. All right, so that is the audio in the president's own words in a taped interview with Bob Woodward. And most of you know about it, including those that defend the president. You just choose to acknowledge it, and you throw some spaghetti at the wall, substitute for something else, and hope that sticks to get that off the topic of what the president actually says, because you cannot defend the indefensible. The exact words, ladies and gentlemen, the exact words at the very beginning was, I wanted to always play this down. I always wanted to play the virus down. Okay, the exact words, I wanted to always play it down. I'm still playing it down. While at the same time, he was telling the American people that it was a Democratic created hoax. And if you want to run that semantic debate, bring it. I'll eat you alive all day. Don't even need some salsa for that. I'll just tear you up. I always wanted to play it down. While he told the American people that it was nothing to worry about, that it was going to go away by the summer, that it was just one person from China, that it was a Democratic created hoax, that it was going to go away like a miracle. And lo and behold, we're creeping on the end of the year, and we're going to get to 250,000 dead Americans. And I'm going to say it again. The President of the United States said he always wanted to play it down while Americans died, instead of just telling us the damn truth. Are we that weak as a country that we have to be led like sheep, told lies to, because we would panic? I don't know about you, but I'm not. I kind of like truth. I kind of like a president who isn't going to bullshit me and lie to me. Tell me the damn truth. I'll deal with it after that. I'll step up and make something happen, because that's what Americans should be doing, getting together and making problems go away. That's all on record. That's all truth. Well over 10 minutes now, but it's still the damn truth, whether you like it or not. You can call me a liar, you can call me whatever the hell you want, but I'm putting everything on record before this damn election is done. Because if I go to the grave next week or the day after, I want people to be able to say, that vato stood up and said the damn truth, whether they liked it or not. Without fear or favor, I speak. It'd be nice if we had a president that did the same damn thing. How about that? Maybe we need a Mexican president called SuperMex, huh? Maybe a Mexican president will tell the damn truth. There's a novel concept. Not a virus, just a novel concept. Here's my last image for you, then we're off. You want to have the argument? Message me. I'm there right now. I got my own damn election to worry about, including this one. I got 7 days in a wake-up. I brook and tolerate no garbage right now. Not right now. I have very limited patience, and I'm a very, very patient person, but not right now. If you want to have an honest, sincere, intellectually not disingenuous discussion, I'm here. I'm here. There are a few of you out there. I look forward to that conversation. For those of you other, God bless you, if he chooses to do so. Love thyself, love thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Yeah, I know that too. Here's my last image for you, because this crystallizes where we are and who my President of the United States is. Put that little fool up. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make. Yeah. That is crystallization, encapsulation. That is SuperMex Nation. That's a lot of Asians. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice our president is willing to make. Wouldn't it be nice if we had a president that would actually be willing to sacrifice for his people? Yeah, what's that, right? I'll say this before I go off. Leave it up. Leave him up. Lord Farquaad. Some of us swear oaths. Some of us give lives to this country and community. Some of us would willingly give ourselves for the good of the whole. I've done this before on one of these shows. The good of the many outweighs the good of the few or the one. We have an election coming up in 1 week. I'm going to hope, honestly and with sincerity, that many of you go out and vote and understand the concept of the good of the many outweigh the good of the one. The one. And you know what I'm talking about. This country is more important than Donald Trump. Its principles, its beliefs, its values, what we started as, what we still can become, far more important than one individual. Far more important. But as I finish, vote your conscience, vote as you choose. It is your right to do so as an American, even if our American president doesn't believe it to be the case. I'll see you in a few days because I'm going to have more 10-minute shows coming up. I got none but love for this country, got none but love for you, and I'm not done. Thank you.